Within hours of playing this map after the wipe, I found myself absolutely flooded with rubles and task items by just looting these few buildings. In this guide, I will show you how you're going to be able to do the same in no time at all. But before we get started, make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss out on any future guides. So the first building that we're going to be coming up to is going to be Concordia. Now, this is going to be in the very back of the map, as you can see. And the main places that we're going to be checking on the ground floor are going to be around the back of these desks. Now, all of these around here are going to have a chance to spawn LEDXs. Now, that's going to be super huge, but moving on to the next thing is going straight up the steps. As long as these doors are shut, usually nobody's came in here. And so we're just going to come in here and we're going to go right to the right. And we're going to come into this door on the left, but there's a quick ammo spawn. There's going to be a vodka spawn right there, as well as a bunch of other loose loot. There's going to be a bunch of rare loot spawns in this room and all of these spots that I'm checking here. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you check all of these. I found bitcoins, eggs, Tetrises, pretty much all of the rarest loot spawns in that room, and that doesn't require a key. Next, I'm just coming over here. There's a bunch of ammo spawns right here. We got the duffel bag. And coming into these rooms, we're going to have a couple of toolboxes. Now, these are just going to have a lot of your task items that you're going to need, so it's pretty useful just to check them and just snag some of the items as you're coming through anyway. But that's going to be it for Concordia. Next up is going to be Lexos. And if you're later in the raid, you're going to want to take a quick look at these weapon boxes, the dead scavs, and the med crate for just some quick extra loot. It's definitely going to be worth your time with there being so much so close together. But coming over to Lexos, you want to make sure you kind of take a similar path as I do so you avoid the mines. But once you're inside, you're going to want to take a look at all of these different containers because all of these are going to have a lot of medical loot, as well as a few of them are going to have a chance to spawn LEDXs. Now, no matter what, all of these are able to spawn very good loot, so I would strongly recommend that you go through, as long as you're later in the raid and you know Kaban is dead, I strongly recommend coming through here and at least taking a peek because a lot of times other players are not. I have found so many LEDXs, so many stims, and so much other medical loot that's worth so much money, it's not even funny. You always want to make sure that you're coming in here and checking all of these. Now, coming over here, this one is going to have a chance to spawn LEDX right there on that table. And coming into this building right here, there's going to be a couple of crates outside, but the main loot is going to be just inside this door on this shelf and the filing cabinet right next to it. There are going to be so many super rare loot spawns. Like as you can see, I got a Bitcoin and the USEC little toy thing. That is worth huge money. And then I come around and there's going to be more medical loot and another filing cabinet if you really want to rat it up. Honestly, it just varies depending on how much loot I have, whether or not I loot that. So next up is going to be check 15. Now, this building is actually going to have quite a few keyed rooms, although I'm not going to be doing them in this video because this is without keys. So as you can see, I'm coming in the back entrance right here, and right onto these steps, immediately we're going to have a dead scav here, and as well as a Bitcoin or rare loot spawn chance. Now, it's going to be quite hard to grab, as you can see. I kind of struggle a little bit with it every single time. It's always a pain. But Bitcoin is right here. As you can see, finally grabbed it. Now, I would recommend looting the scav as well. And once you come in here, there's going to be a couple of loot spawns in that first room you see right there. And there's going to be a vodka spawn, as well as some other loose loot on that shelf. Coming into the bathroom, you're going to have some medical spawn, as well as a few food items that I've seen, as well as the jackets there on the wall. Coming down this hallway, we're going to have some loot on the shelf that I do not check, but that's directly to my right. Coming in here, we got the filing cabinets right there. Going into this bedroom, we're going to have the dead scav in the corner. And there's also going to be some loot on the shelf behind us there. There's going to be a tech spawn on that desk. There's going to be some more tech spawns on the shelf and by that TV. As you can see the vase there. There's also going to be a Bitcoin spawn chance here on the bed and the floor. There's also going to be some loose loot that can spawn on that shelf. Now coming into the kitchen, you're going to be able to get meds, stims, as well as some food items. Going through here, there's going to be the duffel bag as well as loose loot that can spawn on top of everything here. Coming into this room, there's going to be meds that can spawn on both of these benches as well as the med case here. Task items can spawn in all of these lockers right here. More task items can spawn in here as well as stims on the benches, and there's going to be a couple more jackets in these. That's going to be about it for the first floor. Just a few more loot spawns in here. Now going upstairs, that is the second story. We can only jump down from there. So that's just a breach, but you got to be careful because people can open that door and potentially come out. This is going to be really one of the only rooms that we can actually loot on the third floor. Though I have found Bitcoin and a bunch of other rare loot in this room before. You want to make sure that you check this bench for other loose loot spawns. These 3 rooms here are going to be for a key. And then coming into room 5 here, this is going to be to drop down back to floor 2. Once you do the drop down, there's going to be a food slash like sausage spawn, I guess you could say. And there's also a med spawn on the couch right behind us. There's going to be a spawn in that little box, as well as more spawns in this room. But that's going to be about it for check 15. So last but not least, the final building that I'm going to be looting is the post office. Now, first off, immediately coming in here, we're going to have loot spawns in both of these little areas right here, as well as on the counter, on that shelf behind us, and a bunch of like fleece spawns and stuff like that on all the tables. So you're going to want to make sure you come in that room first, because you're always going to want to make sure you check those spawns. Coming through here, we're going to have some loose loot that can spawn on those shelves, as well as on those chairs in the hallway here. But coming into this room, we're going to have a bunch of tech spawns, as well as those filing cabinets and more tech spawns on the desk there. Going back out into the hallway, there's going to be a loose loot spawn in the box, as well as ammo on top of the box. Like I said, on those chairs, there's going to be some loot. Now coming down the hallway, opening these middle doors, we're going to have some food spawns that can be on these shelves here, as well as ammo along here. Coming into this room down here, we're going to have some condensed milk and food spawns, as well as an ammo spawn down on the floor. Now as we come in here, there's going to be rare loot spawn, as well as tech spawn, like Bitcoin and stuff in those lockers there, so you always want to go by those. But coming into this little office area, behind this desk here, there's going to be a dead scav as well as a duffel bag. You're going to always want to check those, as well as check on all of these shelves. There's going to be a lot of task items, as well as some more loose loot. And also another filing cabinet there. But now heading toward the upstairs. As we open this door here and start to head up the steps, in this little baby thing, there's going to be a tech spawn, as well as more tech spawns on the floor. Coming through this door, there's going to be the dead scav, as well as some task item spawns on that shelf. You're going to have some loose ammo on this shelf, as well as on this, and the duffel bag. Always check out this shelf. I found so many task items here, as well as this blue one laying down. Now hopping up and over this, we're going to go upstairs. And pretty much, you're going to want to loot this toolbox. And after you're done doing that, you're going to want to just open up every one of these doors that you can and loot through all of these apartments. As you can see, there's going to be some tech spawns in this room. I found multiple bitcoins and a bunch of vodkas and some lions in these rooms. Always want to check these out. Always. As you can see, this is one of the newer parts that they just added. It's kind of a pain to get through, but it's definitely still worth checking out. Coming in here to the right, there's going to be some tech spawns in all of these. So like I said, you really just want to make sure that you're going through and checking everything out. As you can see, even in this, I got lost. But all of these rooms here, you want to check them out. On that chair, there's going to be some stims, but there's going to be so much valuable loot. You're really just going to want to take a look all around and make sure that you're getting everything. A lot of the kitchens are always going to have some valuable loot, so just always make sure to be checking them as well. Most of the time, I don't really find anything in the bathrooms, so that's just something to take note of. But in this room here, I found a bunch of bitcoins on that couch there that I just took a peek to on the right. But for the most part, once you loot everything in the post office, that's really going to be it. I really hope that with the help of this video, you will definitely have all of the rubles and task items that you need. But if you do, please be sure to smash that like button and definitely consider getting subscribed because I've got a bunch more Escape from Tarkov guides coming out very soon. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.